and the process of team formation. A teacher's most important job is to prepare the students who are going to be the future leaders as the team participants. The reason is teams are everywhere. Let it be in the family, let it be in the working place, let it be in the society. Wherever we go, we cannot escape from the process and the subject of this influence of these team activities. Teams are everywhere. We have noted there are good teams and bad teams. In the good and effective teams, there will be a conducive environment for everybody to work and express their views. Whereas in an ineffective group or a team environment, imposition by somebody, domination by people, where their views and opinions are not listened to or considered. Given this situation, all the time we cannot expect that the teams will work automatically. Wherever there are people, there will be problems. In order to make the teams to work effectively, the person who is responsible for the functioning of the team need to manage a couple of things, very important things. The first and the most important thing is, it is the responsibility of the person who himself considered as the leader is to build trust among the members. As a teacher also, unless we are able to make our students to trust us, unless we create a confidence in the minds of our students to think that whatever my teacher says is worth believing, it is reliable, it is important, they will not listen to us. Even if they listen, they don't respect it. Therefore, first thing is to create trust. Trust is something that makes others to accept without inspection and verification, without doubt. People should not suspect and doubt your credibility. Such a character needs to be developed. Followed by that is to build cohesiveness. I have already explained to you about cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is the spirit that holds people together, that makes people to be in a group. It is true that high cohesiveness or low cohesiveness, both are not good. But as responsible people, we need to manage the cohesiveness properly. When nobody is questioning, we should not feel proud and happy that I have been accepted by everybody. There may be a reason for not questioning. I must give the freedom. I must just instigate people to question. Where there is good questions, there will be healthy environment. The type of environment we are going to have depends on the type of questions we raised. Therefore, it is our job to create a dynamic, creative environment where there is scope for original and healthy questions. Followed by that, making a good composition. Right type of people must be placed on the right place, right position. Wherever there is opportunity, you cannot say that it is not in my hand. How much responsibility or power that you have, based on that, make a right type of composition, the weak and the strong, the mediocre, etc. Followed by that, assign responsibility to everybody. You must make the people to know their responsibility. That can happen only when we realize our responsibilities and discharge our duties. Because there is a saying, only authority can be delegated, not responsibility. Authority follows, responsibility follows authority. People want to get power, but they are not willing to take responsibility. Whenever we recall about the Constitution of India, we speak about only fundamental rights, but there are fundamental duties also. We never speak about the fundamental duties in the Constitution. Therefore, duties and responsibilities must be made known to every member. And one more important thing that we need to know is about diversity in the group. I have been repeatedly using the word, a team may have people of different individual characters, good, bad, ugly, etc. Otherwise, intelligent will be there, average will be there, poor will be there, ruralates will be there, urbanates will be there, international people will be there. All of them must be taken into one bowl and they must be treated alike. Because a leader's job is to make everybody to feel comfortable. Am I audible? Is it audible? Another problem with your voice.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Audible, sir.
Diversity means ವಿವಿಧತೆ, ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆ. ಆ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ತಲುಪುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅದರಿಂದ ಲಾಭ ಪಡೆಯುವಂತೆ ಒಂದು ವಾತಾವರಣವನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು ಲೀಡರ್ ಆದವರ, ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಾದವರ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ. ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿ some participants from other states who cannot follow me? Cannot follow me, please.
Sir, ಅರ್ಥ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಹ್ಞೂ ಸರ್, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
Okay.
ಸರ್, ಒಂದ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್. ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಲೀಡರ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬರೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆನೆ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಹೌ ಟು ರಿಸೀವ್ ದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಲೀಡರ್. Shall we able to continue our work in a moral way?
Yes, you should continue. Say, for instance, you must be clear as to what you are doing. If you are convinced that you are on the right track and you are not doing something wrong and you are not beyond the...
When the critics are too personal, when it is a harm to their psychological strengths, disturbs the...
Criticism is everywhere. First, you should know what is criticism. Criticism is something that anybody can do, being nothing, knowing nothing, and doing nothing. If they are not competent of doing something, the easiest thing for them is to do criticism. I don't mean to say that ignore all the time criticism. Unless the critic is making a healthy criticism, which is constructive and which is helpful for improving your work, you need not have to worry about it. Healthy criticisms are always welcome. If the criticism is for the sake of criticism, if you realize that there is no stuff in it and the person who is making the criticism is just leveling it to fulfill his ego or emotions, you need not have to worry. Leader's first choice, first character is to be emotionally stable. Be emotionally stable means take appreciation and criticism equally. If somebody appreciates, you will become very happy. If a student says, sir, you taught very well, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಂದ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಬಂದು ನೀವೇನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥನೇ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೀವ್ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಏನ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಹರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ವಾಸ್ತವವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. We must think in between both the appreciation and the negative comments that we have heard. Look at the scope for the both the options and their implications on your performance. If you are convinced that you are doing justice up to your level of understanding and you have realized that what you are doing is correct, needless to worry. There is a saying, who is an educated anvaga Abraham Lincoln on ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, make my son to have pride in his own deeds even if the whole world calls him mad anta. Make my son to have pride in his own deeds even if the whole world calls him mad. ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಕೆಲಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಮನೋಭಾವ, ನಾನು ಸರಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಅಶ್ಯೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಹುಚ್ಚ ಅಂತವೆ, ಕೆಟ್ಟೋನು ಅಂತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. But first thing is get yourself convinced. Are you convinced with what you are doing? If you are convinced as to what you are doing, don't worry about the comments. If somebody stops you, ನೀವು ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, because of this criticism I was stopped from doing that. Sometimes it is inevitable. People in the position, people in power may not be able to understand your worth and strength. Don't worry. Give them some time for realizing it. Do it somewhere else where you can do. That's it. I think I have reached it. Hello? 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 Now answer madad
Sir, sir, kelsa ide sir, kelsa ide sir.
This is the problem in this. Say for instance, have pride in your own deed even if the whole world calls you mad.
Sir, ನಾವು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಹಿಂಗ ಕೇಳಕ್ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಷ್ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಸರ್ ಸಾರಿ.
ಯಾರೋ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಹೊಗಳಿದ್ರು, ಯಾರೋ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಬೈದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ನಾವು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬಾರದು. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಗೌರವ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಸರಿಯಾದ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಭರವಸೆ ಇದೆ, ವಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ದಟ್. ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಡೋರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು, ನೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೇನು. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ಡ್. Nothing to worry about too much about the criticisms. Criticisms are always there. That is available free of cost. Diversity. A classroom is made up of different type of people as the society is. Even in the society, there will be good, bad, ugly, intelligent, learned, stupids. Every type of people will be there. We must try to be with them comfortably. That is what the real meaning of education. You should know how to be with different type of people comfortably. All the time you cannot expect only intelligent people around you. Sometimes you may be accompanied by people who are beyond, not up to your expectation. There you have to live. All the time people may not be endorsing, approving your acts. They may be criticizing, commenting, threatening. There also how to live, that you have to learn. Therefore, building diversity means creating an ambience where good, bad, everything will stay together. Allow them to be there as they are, but make them to work for what you are asking. ಒಬ್ಬ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅವನ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ರೀತಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that's enough. Whether he's from village, from a neighboring country, or from an enemy's family, it doesn't matter to me. Therefore, diversity must be encouraged. And the last thing is maturity. Education is something where a matured person makes an impact on the immature. That means we are all teachers. By designation, we are all mature. We must not behave like immature personalities. We must make matured impact on the others. Therefore, maturity comes out of experience. Maturity comes out of ability to think on the spot as to what is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done, something like that. There, the role of ethics is also very important. Ethical consideration also goes with maturity. What is ethical to me may not be ethical to others. You should also keep in mind the ethical factors that are essential to have a joint living, shared living. Joint and shared living is nothing but democracy. In democracy, there will be people of all sorts. Everybody has the right to be there, right to speak, right to express, right to live, right to do whatever they want, but not at the cost of someone's destruction. You should not trouble anybody. Without affecting the independence of others, you have the liberty to enjoy yourself. Therefore, maturity makes people to have all this. Therefore, the objective of a teacher who is teaching in the classroom, apart from teaching the subject, your domain area, you have to prepare them as successful, capable, responsible citizens of the society and the members of the citizens of the nation and the members of the society. There, you need to develop all these things: trust, cohesiveness, composition, responsibility, diversity, and maturity. Here comes the importance for a teacher to play the role of a leader. Quite natural, in a group, there will be oppositions, disturbances, comments, criticism that may lead to a conflict. What is a conflict? Conflict is an integral part of organizational life. It occurs because of perceived or experienced differences over substantiative or emotional issues. Sometimes over real issues, sometimes because of the emotions, there may be difference of opinion. Somebody may criticize you because they may not like you. Sometimes they like your job, not you as a person. That's the reason they may be troubling you. They may not want you to progress. That could be the reason for disturbing you. It could be emotional. Sometimes there may be fact. People who like you may not be criticizing you, but you may be on the wrong track. Realize. Your own good friends, because of high cohesiveness, may not be making comments about your wrongdoings. One of your enemy might have mentioned it. At that time, you must love to have an enemy. If there are critics, you will be on the right path all the time. Let there be critics. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನಿಂದಕರಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಿಂದಕರಿರಬೇಕು. ನಿಂದಕರಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ನಿಂದಕರನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ. ಲವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎನಿಮಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಎನಿಮಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗಲೂ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಬುದ್ಧ ಟಾಟ್. ಎನಿಮಿನ ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ನಮ್ಮ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಅಪ್ರಿಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಾಗಿದ್ರೆ, ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಆಗದಿದ್ದರೂ ನನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಿತನ ಅಥವಾ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್, ಲೆಟ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಯು ಮ್ಯಾಡ್, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ವರಿ. ಇಟ್ ಅಕರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ perceived, experienced over substantiative or emotional issues. Sometimes it happens. The reasons for conflicts. Before I take you to the reasons for conflict, symptoms of conflicts. Conflicts ide anta namage hege gottagodu in a group. In a team, there will be conflict which will be visible in the form of poor intergroup activities. Where there is a conflict or disturbance, people will not work together. There will be disrespect and indiscipline. They don't respect and they don't follow the rules and regulations. Where there is a conflict, there will be antagonizing and a negative feeling. All the time, whatever you suggest, they will not accept. They say, no, it is not possible, it will not work, it is not right, something like that. And as a result of that, there will be high absenteeism. High absenteeism means they will keep away. What they don't like, they don't want to see. They just go away from you. And informal gatherings. Informal gatherings means, as I told you, after the meeting, they will make a small group, discuss about you, try to come out with plans for troubling you. Informal gatherings will happen when there is a disturbance in the group. When there is a disturbance in the group, people go for informal groups. Strict implementation of rules. Where there is a conflict or a disturbance, then we speak in terms of rules and regulations. When the human relations are strong, there is no need of talking about rules and regulations. We have to worry about the rules and regulations when we fail to use our human relations effectively. This is what the symptoms of conflict. But what causes the conflict? What are the causes of conflicts? I have made a list of reasons for difference of opinion among the group members or the team members, or even between the student and the teacher. Employees of the same organization, colleagues, between the colleagues. Why conflict arises? The reasons are, first one is incompatible goals. Incompatible goals means setting a target which is not humanly possible to achieve. When you think the target given to me is very high, people will start thinking negatively. If you ask the student to study all the things within 1 week, which you have not taught them, they will become angry naturally. Conflict will become, or people will start suspecting each other. Trouble will happen in a group where there is too much of interdependence. Where there is interdependency, there will be conflict. As I told you in the beginning, you cannot hate somebody whom you don't like. You will not have conflict, you will not quarrel with somebody with whom you are not connected. Only because of the connected reason we have conflicts. Followed by that, scarce resources. The reason for the conflict is scarcity of resources. There is only one chair, there is only one car, there is only one room for which both of us fight. Conflict will arise because of the goal and role ambiguity. Ambiguity means you don't know what to do, what first, whether to complete the syllabus or to do it a qualitative teaching. Sometimes it is a big question. If you want to deliver a qualitative teaching, you have to be a little slow. If you are slow, you cannot complete the syllabus. These days, people will say, right, covering syllabus cover model. Syllabus covering or uncovering, what are you doing? Ultimately, what should be the purpose of doing that? It is to make the students understand. Sometimes people will say, I have covered the syllabus, but people have not understood this. Whose fault it is? What is your aim? Is it to cover and uncover, or is it to make people to understand? There will be a conflict. That conflict is intrapersonal conflict. Intrapersonal conflict means two different opinions inside the mind of a person that puts him into restlessness, where you think doing or not doing is right or wrong. What to do? If I do this, what happens? If I don't do this, what happens? Such a difference of opinion in the same person's mind is also a conflict. That conflict is worse than quarreling with another person. You can quarrel and forget with other person, but when the conflict happens inside you, that will burn from within. That should be sorted out as early as possible. And why it happens in the group, personality clash. Two different types of persons. One is honest, other one is dishonest. One is hardworking, other one is lazy. One is intelligent, other one is dull. One is socializing, other one is not. Because of encountering of these type of people, there will be conflict in the groups. One who is very honest may expect everybody to be honest, other one may not like it. Followed by that, differences in our value systems. You can understand, values are the strong beliefs. What I believe and you believe may be different. And as a result of that, there will be difference. Differences in perception. Grahikeli dosha. You can understand what is differences in perception. Same picture, same image, same words may be interpreted differently by different people. Your intention might have been something different when you said something, but it was wrongly quoted, wrongly interpreted. As a result, difference arises. Followed by that, communication problem. You must remember, as a teacher, about 60% of the problem in the world are because of the failure of communication. We may be trying to convey something, and ultimately something else is communicated, interpreted differently, understood differently. Therefore, many a time, even in the classrooms, sometimes what happens, a very good teacher may not be good in reaching out to the students because of the communication problem. Sometimes we need to understand the problems of the people. A good student may be considered as an insignificant student in the classroom. A good student may be neglected as not intelligent, maybe because of his communication problem. Given an opportunity to speak in his mother tongue, he may do extraordinarily. But we never look at him because he will never make sound. Sometimes we have to make sound or noise. Even if you make noise, people will look at you. A very intelligent person who always try to be calm, quiet, silent, may not be noticed at all. And his problems may not be called for discussion and the solutions. I think I'm reaching you. Many a time, conflict arises because of all this. And the most powerful reason is lack of trust. Where there is no trust, people will not believe anybody. People will not respect anybody. As a result, misunderstanding and conflicts happen in the groups, teams, call it by any name. There, the teacher has to play the role of a leader. Teachers are all undesignated leaders. The moment somebody uses the name of a leader, people recall only political names. But teachers are the real leaders. Just to make you people to speak one or two sentences, I raised a question here. Do you see yourself as a leader? Have you been serving in leadership capacity? If so, in what ways? How? Why do you think you are a leader? My simple question to you is, Do you think yourself a leader? Yes or no? If yes, why do you think so? I will give you a few minutes. Anybody would like to comment on this can comment. Is it right to allow you to comment? Do you expect me to continue myself or will you speak?
Sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, leader is a person who motivates, who helps in decision making. And I think my students look towards me in certain times for decision making, for motivation. Also, some problems which they are not able to solve, and they will be trying to ask me for help. What might be the solution for all this? And in those capacities, I think that as teacher, I will be a leader for the students.
Wonderful. That means you have accepted the role as a leader. Great. Any more comments?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Teacher is a leader, no doubt. Any other answer for this question? Do you see yourself as a leader? Have you been serving in leadership capacity? If so, when was it? In what way?
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಟೀಚರ್ ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ಬ ಉತ್ತಮ ನಾಯಕನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಅವರು ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಕರಾಗಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಂಡುಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಉತ್ತಮ ನಾಯಕನಿಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಒಬ್ಬ
ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತಾ ಅಥವಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ
ಕೂಡ ಕರಿಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಭಾವನೆ.
ಲೀಡರ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದೇನೋ. ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು.
ಸರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ತಮ್ದು. ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದಾ? ನನಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಟೀಚರ್ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದ್ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ.
Obviously, sir, ansate yake antandre we are leading the team. We are taking them ahead. In fact, we are building the next generation. We are preparing the next generation. So obviously, we should go with the Torah. Na leader anta konde hogbeku, and we should have the traits of leadership. The styles might be different, but the trait we should have. A person who goes without an attitude of being a leader will fail in front of the students and will fail in front of preparing them as a next generation prepare madadru fail agtiv now. The styles might be different.
Wonderful. You are all leaders.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಹೌದು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು.
See, the strength of a country depends on the strength of the teachers. There is a popular saying, the fate of a nation is written inside the classrooms. The fate of the nation is written inside the classroom. That means we are all the real leaders who create the society, who create the future leaders. That could be the reason for Mr. Arun Murthy recently to Narayan Murthy of Infosys recently in one of the lecture to say that teachers must be strengthened. To prepare good teachers, invite teachers across the globe, train the teachers, let the teachers create better future with the creation of prepared students. If the teachers are prepared, they can easily prepare the future generations. Sometimes it may appear to be little expensive, little costly. However costly it is, your investment on education will never go waste. Your investment on teachers for a good cause, I am qualifying my statement, will never go waste. That's the reason he said, he had quoted one of the Harvard Business School teachers, saying that if education is expensive, try ignorance. If education is expensive, try ignorance. If you are ignorant, you cannot do anything. Ignorance is not a bliss all the time. You must get out of that. For that, we need qualitative teachers. A qualitative teacher, teachers invariably, I use the word undesignated leaders. All the teachers are leaders only, but we may not be called by that name, not necessary to be identified as a leader. But we are the makers of tomorrow. My great salutes out to the people in the primary and nursery school level, not only the university and the colleges, because there is a popular saying, a primary school teacher always loves the student. There is a saying, primary school teacher loves the student, high school teacher loves the subject, college and university teachers love themselves. The moment you say teacher, you remember only the primary school teacher. They are the real creators of the generations. But we are all contributing for that. Don't get angry with me, madam. We are all participating for this. And as such, we are all leaders. Let us accept the fact. The role of the leader is to take people on journeys where they have not been before. Journey means life journey, not necessarily a tour. Taking people towards a journey where they have not been before. What's the quality of a teacher, a leader? Leaders normally hate and instinctively challenge status quo. That means they are not happy with the status quo. They always look for something different, They always think of changes. This is one of the important qualities of a leader. As a teacher, if you feel this, you are a leader. Further, if you are a leader, what are your characters? The first thing, if you are a leader, you will feel you can do things better all the time. After seeing something, knowing something, doing something, there will be a feeling inside you, this can be put in a different way. This can be done in a better way. And you will never feel contented. You always think of something different. Therefore, if you feel you can do things better and know how to do them better without offending those in authority. Those who ask for authority are the officers or the bosses, not the leaders. Leaders normally don't look for power. Without the power, how to bring change? How to change the system? You are a leader if you are comfortable being challenged. When somebody challenges you, if you accept that, you are a leader. Challenges are always there. As I made a comment about criticism, criticisms will always be there. Don't cry. Don't try to convince somebody. First convince yourself. If you are happy and confident of what you are doing, no problem, do it. Challenge the rest. You are a leader if you are comfortable with being under authority. Even when you are not have the power, if you are doing something, you are a leader. In many instances, there will be a conflict between the boss and the leader. I heard many a time principal saying, though I am the principal, though I am the senior, though I am the head, all the students will go to somebody. Why they are going there? It is because of the leadership quality of that person, not the designation. You are a leader if you are comfortable with crediting other people for the things you helped them to accomplish. See, though the other person has accomplished something, you appreciate that person and give credit to him. Then only you will be called a leader. Normally, leaders always will not make achievement. They help others to achieve. They support others to achieve. If one of my students makes some achievement in his life, I will look at it as my achievement. When my students say, sir, I have passed an examination, I feel as if I only passed it. Such should be the character of a leader. If you have all these qualities, invariably we can find in teachers. Most of the teachers, there may be exceptions here and there. Most of the teachers will have this quality. Hence, all teachers are leaders. What is leadership? I am now taking you towards understanding the concept leadership. Leadership is a process of influencing people. First, it's a process of influencing people. Influencing means making a positive impact on their minds. Making a positive impact on the minds of others is leadership. And providing an environment for them to achieve team or organizational goals. Providing an opportunity for them to set goals and to achieve the goals. You must create an ambience wherein people will set the goals for themselves and work to achieve. You must create an environment where everybody will feel that I can do this, I can do this. This is nothing but motivating others, motivating people to dream. The type of dream students are getting are influenced by the teachers inside. Let it be anybody. An inspiration. Teachers are the inspiration, not necessarily to the designation. Sometimes my teacher may not be in the class, may not be in the college. It could be somebody on the street. I think you agree with this also. Somebody without the designation becomes my teacher, but he is a leader. A teacher can be anywhere. That could be the reason for Wordsworth to say, nature is my teacher. Nature is my teacher. See, I have learned something from the nature. Then that nature is my leader. Incidentally, I and you are designated and appointed as teachers. We must cultivate that habit of behaving, being like the nature. So generosity, so openness, so accommodative in nature. Naturally, teacher will become the nature. I think I'm not confusing you. Am I confusing? Say yes or no. Okay, I'm not confusing, I believe, as I am not hearing any reactions. Followed by that, what is leadership? Leadership is the catalyst that transforms potential into reality. Leadership is the potential that transforms potential into reality. It is the catalyst. Catalyst means the changing power. It changes the potential into reality. India's potential. Where is India's potential? India's potential are the youngsters, youth. Youth power is the most powerful asset of India. That could be the reason for APJ Abdul Kalam to say that by 2020, India will become young and India will become the superpower. India has become the young, no doubt. Today, we have the largest population of youth in India. Have we become the superpower? No. The reason is we are yet to travel a journey of success by directing the students towards, the youngsters towards a proper destination. Students must be directed properly. Unless these youngsters are catch hold of their youth and make them to use it for better purpose, proper direction is given to them, we cannot claim to be superpower at any point of time, because this youth will never remain permanent. Today, we have the largest number of youth power. After another 30 years, India will become a country of old people. Nobody can avoid, nobody can prevent the young to become old. But during this journey, during this gap, they must be utilized properly. That responsibility is with the universities, schools, colleges, and the teachers. Therefore, it is the catalyst that transforms potential into reality. Leadership is the collective network virtual force. It's a virtual force. All the time may not be visible. To be a leader, one need not be tall, stout, that, this and all. Leadership can be a virtual power flowing from jointly created and shared vision. Jointly created means if you impose your leadership, you will become a dictator. It should be accepted by others. First, you must influence people to accept you as a leader, accept you as a teacher. The first challenge for a teacher, I don't know how do you take it. How do you take it? The most prominent challenge for a teacher is to make the audience to accept us. And you will be knowing the attention duration is very short. Within first 4 minutes, audience will decide whether it is worth listening or not. The first 4 minutes, or else you can take it as the first class. The impression that you made at the first instance will last longer. Once they come to a conclusion that it is not worth listening, it is not worth spending our time, wasting our energy, they will not sit in front of you. Same thing is with the leadership. The span of attention, what we call, is very short. And as a result of that, we need to make a proper impression on them. When the impression is positive, then people will become your followers. Okay. What are the functions of leadership? What are the functions of leadership? I'm just mentioning because there are too many things. The first thing is, as a teacher and a leader, your job is to inspire the members of the group. You need to work as an inspiration for the group. There is a popular saying, good teachers inspire students. Average teachers teach in the class. Bad teachers blame the students. Right? Normally, many a time teachers will say, they are not good. They are not serious. They don't listen to us. Their language is poor. They are not up to our level. My question to them is, if they are already up to your level, where was the need for them to come to your class? They are students. Right? Inspire them. If they are not interested, create interest in them. Motivate them. It's a popular statement. You can take the horse to the water, but the horse has to drink water. At least take it to the water. Leave it there for some time. Hold it for some time. Let it feel thirst. When it feel thirsty, definitely it will drink. The first challenge before us is to create thirst for knowledge. Thirst for knowledge. How to create thirst for knowledge? There is a misnomer. There is a wrong assumption, understanding in the society that information is knowledge. Believe me, information is not at all knowledge. It is just information. What is available on the Google is information. Just by getting information on the net, one cannot say that I know everything. Information needs to be interpreted. Information needs to be applied. I think I'm reaching you. You should inspire. You should motivate. That task, that calls for little more energy and efforts from your side. Involvement from your side. Therefore, a leader must act as an inspiration to the group members. Securing cooperation is another challenge. First, as I told you, first make your students to accept you as their teacher. Influence them to look at you for help. Then take their cooperation, coordination. Unless they listen to you, there cannot be a speaker. Unless they learn from you, you cannot be a teacher. Make them to be with you. Create confidence. Many a time our students are not confident. This is one of the skills. Create self-confidence. A teacher's job, both as a leader and a teacher, is to create confidence in the subjects. Subjects include both the subject you teach and the people sitting in front of you. Both are subjects. Okay. Followed by that, provide a conducive environment for setting goals. Conducive environment for setting goals means you must be optimistic. You must be optimistic and you must spread optimism. Many a time our students feel hopeless. They think that is the end of their life. If they fail in the examination, is it the end of their life? If they score less in the examination, is it the end of their life? There is something beyond it. Make them optimistic in life. Make them dreamers. Make them dreamers. Visionaries. If a leader has that quality, he can spread the same to others. As a teacher, we need to make students to think big. Think big. Followed by that, organizing and coordinating the activities. It is the leadership task. Organizing and coordinating all types of activities. Motivating, I have already mentioned. Motivate, inspire. instill, set the fire, set the fire. Let there be a burning sensation inside them for a good cause, to realize the dream. Dream, the quality of the dream depends on the quality of the information and the pictures that we see everywhere. The quality of the suggestions, quality of the advices that we receive. What the eyes could see, that will the mind think. There must be a coordination between the eyes and the mind. We are targeting only the mind or only the eyes. If only beautiful things are presented and the negative meanings are given, the mind will get corrupted. And great things are narrated and the mind sees a negative picture. Say for instance, punctuality. When I say punctuality, I must practice it. If I say punctual, be on time. If I don't do that, there will be a misfire. There is a popular saying, students will never do what the teacher asks, but students will imitate what the teacher does. Therefore, set an example. All leaders must set an example. Don't think I'm advising too much. We belong to the same fraternity. This is my responsibility to mention this. Teachers are remembered only because of how they made the students to feel inside the class. There is a popular saying, students will never remember the formulas that you taught, the theories that you taught, but they remember for long, how did you make them to feel inside the class? Did you make them to feel comfortable when they could not understand, when they scored less, when they are out of track? How did you make them to be there? That makes them to like you, love you. That makes them to remember you for a long time. So that our responsibility is to create a conducive environment for setting right type of goals. I'm not asking you to set negative goals. I'm not asking you to pamper the students, but to make them to feel comfortable inside the class by motivating. That is what leadership. And the last thing is, when things are not happening as you wish, you have to take the stick into your hand. But today, there is no scope for holding the stick and go to the class because of the changing circumstances. But you need to control them. Controlling is something but that nobody likes. Freedom is what everybody wants. But when it becomes inevitable, within our limit, we must control by setting standards. Control is an act of setting standards and comparing the actuals for avoiding deviations. Avoid the deviations. Don't encourage a deviant person. The deviant behavior must be curbed. Wrong things must be criticized constructively. Now I am supporting for criticism. If somebody is wrong, don't encourage that. When you are supposed to say you are wrong, don't say you are right. That the mistake may lead to disasters. Unless we, the teachers, take the courage to say what you are doing is wrong, politely. There's a popular saying, painless criticism, painless no. When you have to say no to somebody, remember it must not be replaced by yes. And no must be no only. But don't hurt anybody's feelings. Tell that in a polite way. There comes the importance of emotional intelligence for leadership. Don't hurt the emotions of anybody. Say, for instance, a failed student is also a student. In our system, we appreciate and pamper only the winners. What about the losers? In a class of 100 students, one person will get the rank, first rank. What about the 99? Nobody will bother about the failed ones. It is the moral obligation of the teacher to think about them also. Why did they fail? What went wrong? Try to sort out the problem from the practical viewpoint, materialistic viewpoint, objective viewpoint. Right? That will give an opportunity for us to make introspection. Where did I went wrong? When the student says, I cannot follow your lecture, what is wrong? Whether the mistake is with me or the system or the camera, what is it? That will help us to improve also. Therefore, controlling does not mean all the time threatening, failing, doing mischief of different types. No. Controlling is an act of setting standards and avoiding deviations. And the deviant behavior must not be tolerated. When I say don't tolerate the deviant behavior, it is not to penalize and send them out. Try to initiate all curative measures within your limit. Within your limit. Try all the possible ways to rectify the mistakes there. Things will improve. These are the functions of leadership. Followed by this, we have to use these leadership qualities inside the classroom. Leaders are not only in politics or in business. In the class, what you can do with this leadership quality? The first thing, develop a caring, supportive relationship with and among the students. If you are able to create a caring and supporting environment inside the classroom, where every student will feel comfortable to come to your class with a confidence that if I do wrong, here is a teacher who will correct me. You are a true leader and you are successful. Okay, an average person must come and say that I can comfortably learn here. Followed by that, organize and implement instructions in a way that optimizes students' access to learning. Organize and implement instructions in a way that optimizes students' access. Everybody must understand. Sometimes what happens, you may be so powerful in your expression. You may be so fluent in your language, but classroom is not the place for showing your fluency or your expertise in something. Ultimately, your objective is to reach out to the student. If somebody is not following, try to reach out to them. Sometimes you have to get down from your scholarship. You may be a scholar, a great, eminent, known personality in your field. But you are there inside the class as a teacher, not as a scholar. As a teacher, you should go down to the student's level, get down and try to reach him out. Use group management methods that encourage student engagement with academic tasks. I have already mentioned, when you give an assignment, group assignment, let there be students of all types. Fast learners, slow learners, intelligent, weak, average students, economically poor, economically rich. Give an opportunity for them to interact. Something change will definitely happen. Followed by that, promote the development of students' social skill and self-regulation. Social skills includes respecting the people around us, respecting the language, other person's language, other person's culture, other person's tradition, other person's belief, caring for others, being comfortably in the company of others, at least being comfortable when talking to the other person of a different gender. Many a time people are hesitant or people make a discrimination when you talk to people of other gender, other language, other religion, other economic status. How do you feel? That reflects your social skills. Teach proper social skills to students. At first, we have to learn all this as teachers. If we know all this, we can teach people. Self-regulation is the ultimate regulation. For those who are regulating themselves, no need of worrying about regulation by others. Followed by that, use appropriate intervention to assist students who have behavioral problems. Yes, because after this COVID, there are n number of instances where students are demonstrating behavioral problems, depression, frustration, inability to concentrate, right? Becoming argumentative, aggressive, okay, turning to be violent in the interactions, violent behavior. These are all the normal things that we have noticed these days. You have to get out of this, overcome this. For that purpose, we need to teach students to follow all this inside the class. There, your role as a leader will really become prominent. You are a leader there. To substantiate whatever I have said so far, what are the qualities of a good leader? I will read out. First one is, let there be a personal drive to become a leader. You are a teacher now by designation. If you wish to develop more leadership qualities inside you, don't look for somebody to appreciate you, somebody to suggest you, give an order. Let there be a personal drive. Let there be a desire to lead. Have self-confidence. Have the knowledge of business. Knowledge of business means not really the business that I teach. Business means whatever you are doing is your business. Let there be knowledge of teaching physics for a physics teacher, chemistry for a chemistry teacher, literature for a literature student. We should know what's happening there. Creativity and originality are the most important things for a leader. Positive effectivity, I've already mentioned, is another character. Charisma. Charisma means your appearance, your outlook must make others to respect you. Such an outlook must be developed. Flexibility and adaptiveness in every situation. Cognitive ability means mental power. Improve the mental power. Knowledge power. You are a knowledge worker now. You are working for creating, disseminating, sharing knowledge with others. Followed by that, honesty and integrity is the great thing. Empathy. Empathy means the ability to understand others is the prominent quality of a leader. To become a leader, one must have this quality in abundance. Followed by this, vision and foresight. Vision means thinking ahead of times. What will happen to me after 5 years? To my students after 5 years? To my country after 5 years? 1 year, 10 years from now? Think always with a vision of reaching high levels, high quality, high destinations. That will make you a real teacher. I have already mentioned these qualities. Specifically for teachers, knowledge of self. Knowledge of self means know yourself. A vision for his profession, his subject, and his students and the nation. Social sensitivity. Be alert to the happenings in the society. The ability to impress others is another character. Intuitiveness. Intuition is said to be the sixth sense. Sixth sense means emotionally able to understand what type of thinking may be going on in the minds of other people. Have intuition and let there be integrity. Your integrity must not be questioned. There shall not be a point of criticism, scope for criticizing you. There's a popular saying, leadership is something, before you become a leader, it's all about others. It's all about you. You can say that I'm a master degree holder, I am a PhD holder, I am a triple degree holder, something like that. It's all about you. Once you become a leader, it is all about others. See, before you start the class, it is about you. You may say that I prepared 10 hours, I have read 100 books. Once you got into the class, your class will become the property of others. Others can make a loose comment, others can criticize you, others can say it is useless. But prior to that, you have worked 10 hours, you may say that I am going to deliver excellent lecture. Your leadership is like that. Before you become a leader, it was all about you. After that, it is about others. The path to your personal life fulfillment is through the people. Your success depends on the success of your student. Success of the country depends on success of its people. People are persuaded by reason, but moved by emotion. Persuaded by reason, but moved by emotion. If I say something good or bad, that is emotional. It is how it has affected me. Therefore, as a teacher, you need to make a combination of both reason and persuasion. Reason and persuasion, both are important for us. We cannot only go by emotion. A very popular teacher may not be a good teacher. See, out of my experience, I am telling. Say, for instance, If you are very rigid, very strict, all the time you speak about academics, student may not like you. If you are very jovial, all the time you give company for jolly trips, rides and things like that, you may become a very popular person. But as a teacher, you should make an introspection. What I am doing is right or wrong. What for I am here. Justify that. Make a fine blend of both and deliver it. That will serve the purpose. There is a popular saying, leadership is a combination of strategy and character. If you must be without one, let there be without strategy, but not without character. Leadership is a character. Teaching is not a job. Teaching is an attitude. Teaching is a character. Now, this is all about the leadership. I have a lot to explain. If there are any queries, any questions, comments, feel free and raise your comments. Okay, I think I'm stopping now here. If there are any questions, you can ask me questions. You can also make comments. Add something, not necessarily questions and comments. If you can add something, you can add.